Yo, what up, my beautiful dowdies? How's everyone doing today? I'm your host, Fao. Let's talk about the new drip marketing in Honkai Star Rail. Feixiao is here. I think that's how you say her name. And she's the first 5-star limited character in 2.5 when we're going to go back to Lofu. She's going to be a Wind Hunt character, and it's actually very exciting to me. Wind Hunt is a very interesting combo that we don't really have in the game, other than our 4-star Danheng, of course. So this is going to be a relatively very new concept as a whole, because I don't think that Danheng was a original character. He just did some wind damage, single target, and very simple. Of course, that's what expected for a free unit that we get in Honkai Star Rail. He's not bad. It's just 4-star DPS. Nowadays, it's just very unrewarding. And Feixiao is going to fill his shoes for the limited 5-star version. I do think that they're going to do something very special and interesting here. I don't think that they're going to just make a better version. They're going to do something very special with this character, because this character is very hyped, and I do think that she's going to be very deep in the lore as well, because she's one of the 7 generals, so she's going to have a pretty big impact, and I do hope that she is going to be a very fun character to play. Yes, it would be cool if she's going to be very OP and broken and all, but I just hope that she provides something that is interesting and that you actually want to pull for her because of her playstyle, you know? And looking at her artwork, she doesn't look like a wind character, you know? Honkai Star Rail is not really afraid to do these things. If it's a fire character, then the character has to have red clothing or red hair, you know? They always try to mix it up, and the design is very good. I really like it. It looks a little bit like a pirate, in my opinion. The clothing is a bit pirate style, and I really like that. She is holding, if you can see it, also a gun. And it took some time for me to actually realize this. I was like taking a glance of this and just looking at all the artwork, how they write the name. And we see the wings and feathers around here as well. But I thought this was, I don't know, my brain couldn't capture what this was. But this is, I think, a gun. And the gun has one of those blades attached to it, really pirate style as well. And she's also holding some sort of staff, or it looks like to be a flag, because it's attached to the cloth behind here. And I think it's supposed to be a flag. I don't know if that's going to be one of her weapons, as in she's going to fight with a staff or some sort of damaging bat and then a gun. But it is looking very interesting. And if she is holding dual weapons or 2 different types of weapons, that makes her already incredibly interesting to me, because that means we're probably going to have like a different move sets, or maybe an enhanced state, or different types of abilities, you know? And I think that is very cool. I love the white aesthetics also with the dark blue here. I think the color scheme is looking very, very good. The boots look very incredible. I'm a very big boots fan, and the boots look very clean. Also, again, that pirate style. I think this is going to be a very interesting character, and I'm 100% considering pulling for this character, also because Wind and Hunt are just what I said before, very unlikely, right? Hunt is not really that popular in Honkai Star Rail. There's a bunch of Hunt characters out there, and we of course got Bootheel just now, but Hunt was still kind of in awkward position in a way, because there were not a lot of limited characters that were Hunt. I think the only one that was Zayla, and then we got Bootheel, and then we have Topaz, but Topaz is just a more supportive unit, so a main DPS Hunt character would be very interesting. We don't know if she's going to be a main DPS, however, the wind element would be very cool to have, because wind damage dealing as a whole is not that popular as well, so Wind Hunt would be an extremely cool combo, and I'm very excited to see what she's going to do. I personally hope that she's going to be a break character, because I didn't pick up that Firefly. I didn't pick up that Bootheel. Break is becoming a very big thing, and I would love a break unit with wind damage, or like with wind DOT on top of that, you know? That'd be very cool, and I think that concept would be very interesting. I really don't hope that she's going to be a follow-up attacker. Like, I think follow-up attack is extremely boring. We've seen way too much follow-up attack recently. I'm not a fan of it, you know? So I do hope, or it's going to just be a standalone character that just works with anything. That would also be very cool. Not necessarily that it's attached to one certain thing. It could be very nice if it's like a very flexible unit that you could just build her crit, build her break, maybe even with some DOT scaling if she's going to have the wind DOT, you know, the wind shear. That would be very cool to have like as an overall unit. I like a whole flexible unit would also be very cool. Maybe that's even better now that I think about it. That'd be very interesting. Or again, just a basic crit damage, crit rate character. Although those characters are a little bit annoying because of how difficult they are to build with the relics and the substats. Recently, we are seeing a lot of the same things, right? So I would like to see a little bit of mixing it up. and maybe some, or a whole new concept. That would also be very nice and welcome. You know, the more strategies, the better. But from her artwork, I don't know. I just see speed in this. As in, not necessarily the subset speed, just that she's going to be very fast. And lore-wise, maybe, or like animations-wise. It looks very cool, and it looks very flashy already, you know? This is a very strong artwork. I have to admit, this is one of the better ones that they put out. And I think this is one of the better artworks I've seen in gacha games in general. It's just, it really stands out. It really pops, you know? The color schemes really work. And of course, for the people that haven't noticed yet, it's another fox race. It's another Foxian. And we can put this in the mix with Yukong and Ting Yun and the other fox boy as well. I think that this race has a lot of potential as a whole. I think it's a very cool concept. I do not see a tail though. Am I blind? Like, oh, maybe this little part here. Maybe that's the tail. Oh, I think it is, yeah. Because normally they have like ears and then they have a tail. And I do think that the model in game always looks really clean with the tail. I don't know, it really feels a void or something. And it looks pretty nice. Now, lore-wise, she should be really strong if it's one of the generals. And I do think that nowadays we are getting a lot of... Hey, pause the video right now. Over 90% of you people that watch my videos actually are not subscribed to my channel. It would mean a lot to me if you would actually consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind after. Let's continue with the video. DPSs that are very broken. We now got Acheron, then we got Boothill, and then we got Firefly. Those, especially Firefly and Acheron, are very standalone characters. And if she would now be the next best thing, that would be very crazy, because Firefly and Acheron are very good already. And if she actually would be above those two, that'd be wild. I don't know if it's the time for that yet, you know? That'd be very quick. But hey, it is what it is. It's not like the other two don't work. They're still very strong. So in that aspect, it doesn't really hurt the game. It could only hurt the game and I think a little bit of the unoriginal, you know? I do want these characters, even though if they're like stronger than the last one, I don't really care about that. I just want them to be original and have a fun playstyle. If that's in it and just different from the other DPSs, then it's fine, and then they can be like strong or weak however they want them to be, you know? Like if we now get another single target character that does already like something like Boothill does or what Zayla does or something, then it's boring, you know? I do hope that she brings something new. Acheron was a very interesting character, you know, because of the no energy. I do hope that they make something new and a cool playstyle. That's only what I ask. Let's look at the little story here. Let's see what they have to say. Extraterrestrial satellite. Communication. Feixiao. The Merlin's Claw is what's written in the books, and the Great General is what people call me. The former sounds too formal, the latter too exaggerated. Neither suits me. I prefer my own title. The Lacking General. Lacking in worries, regrets, and rivals. Okay. It's a little bit of a roast there. Okay. The Zhanjiao Yaoxing's Merlin's Claw and one of the 7 Arbiter Generals. Her personality is unrestrained and frank, dashing and straightforward. She's skilled in all forms of martial arts and has honed herself into a supreme weapon. She's widely adored by Zhanjiao's soldiers and civilians, alike as the Great General. However, she bears the burden of the Moonrage affliction. If she were to hunt down all the abominations in her limited lifetime, then the only enemy Feixiao has would be herself. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of status going on there. A lot of like, I'm better than you. Hey, if she's going to be with the Lord, then she might actually be the next best thing, you know? She might actually be her, you know? I just see a lot of, I'm way better. If I actually go ham, then there's nothing else to beat for me, you know? Like, it is interesting. I wonder how they're going to implement her in the story and in the Return of Luofu. I think that we're going to get some sort of meeting with maybe more generals, where Jing Yuan will also be there. And maybe there's going to be like a very big threat, so they all have to come together and talk about it, how they're going to defeat it. I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do here. Maybe make it a little bit interesting. I do think that the past Luofu story was okay, but it really didn't catch my attention that much. So maybe with Feixiao, we can like up the interesting levels here, because she does look very flashy and very bling bling, you know? So very excited for Feixiao. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about Feixiao, her artwork, her story. What do you think about the element, you know, the Hunt Wind? What do you expect her, what she's going to be? What type of unit? Maybe she's going to be a sub DPS, you know, maybe she's not even going to be a main DPS. There's a lot of possibilities here. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about her, if you're going to pull for her or not. I'm really considering now. I have a lot of tickets saved and I Told you guys many times, the return of Lofu, they're going to drop some banger characters. And here we already have the first one. Of course, tomorrow there's going to be another drip marketing, if I'm not wrong. And maybe they're going to add a new 4-star as well. It's been a while since we have one, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not forgetting anyone. So that would be nice to maybe throw in the mix as well. And they most of the time really like that to do in Lofu as well. So yeah, I would really love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Means the world to me if you could do that. Make sure to join the Discord. We're trying to grow the community even further. And if you want to support the channel even further, then become a member. I love you all, and I'll see you around in the next video. Take care. Peace.